Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Chiv, and today I'm going to be joined by a very good friend of mine to go over the Journey to Ungoro cards. Ghost, introduce yourself.
Hi, I just got introduced. I am Please Let Me Win, aka Zalgo Cometh, aka The Ghost Who Walks. So many different names, don't blame me, blame the internet. But yeah, we're here chilling with Chiv, gonna look through some of these Ungoro cards and get hyped.
I was waiting for you just to say lit, but that works. Now, for those of you who don't know, Ghost is a tournament organizer over in the Jamaican community. He does, how many events have you been doing over there now?
Do occasional events here and there. Hearthstone's pretty much been burned for a lot of people off late, so I haven't done any tournaments in all, but recently just did one to kind of usher out the year of the Kraken and welcome the year of the Mammoth. It was fun. We represented all the different factions of the mean streets at Kazakhstan, so yeah, good times.
Yeah, it should be. All right, so here we go. Journey to Ungoro. We've got crazy fucking plants. We've got elementals. We got dinosaurs. We got quests. I mean, is the Jamaican community hyped on this?
Definitely, because I mean, it's like basically a whole new game now. It's like freaking Aladdin. It's like a whole new world. It's like so much things are going, so many things are coming, and it's just gonna breathe like so much new life into the game.
I'm always amazed by how many Disney references you can make, man. That's just always creepy.
Disney kid growing up, man.
Oh, man. I live in Florida, and even I wasn't a Disney kid. All right,
I was in the Mickey Mouse Club.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got beat up a lot in school.
Not so much.
All right. So we're going to go through all the class cards. We're also going to go look at the token equivalents for some of these cards, especially the quest ones, if they're available. Hearthstone isn't always the greatest. Now, I could have gone and sniped all the images and put them in here, but I don't have a mechanical hard drive. I only have an SSD on the system right now, and I'm not about to load it with a bunch of stuff that I'm eventually going to have to delete and then destroy the durability of my hard drive, so hell no. So we're going to use Hearthstone, who provide some really good high-quality images and have been putting out the content pretty consistently since day one of Hearthstone. So I love supporting them.
So are we starting with neutral stuff?
No, we're starting with Druid. Always start
because I mean, it's a shit ton worth of neutral stuff.
Oh, I know. But it's good to get the context of the class cards first before you look at the neutral, so you can do the comparison of, you know, hey, this might be good with this Druid archetype build and so on.
Coolio.
Alrighty then. So let's start off here. We got Tyrantus. 10 mana, 12/12, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. This card just basically says, get fucked. But how good is it, though?
I mean, in Druid, I think it's a perfect fit, especially since we've seen all the different synergies with Kun and all that refreshing mana crystals, shenanigans and stuff. I mean, and we all know Druid is a class that ramps like cray-cray, so
yeah. And there's cards that have the ability of summoning in a minion that has more than a certain amount of health out of your hand if certain conditions are met. So all of a sudden, Tyrantus becomes a viable pick, and so does Yasarj yet again. I mean, we might be seeing the beginning of I am Druid, hear me stomp. You know, big body, big badass Druid.
I definitely feel sorry for the person that ends up on Troll then when somebody barns into Yasarj and Yasarj is into Tyrantus.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's going to be painful. Overall, I think the card is kind of interesting. It's definitely going to be one of those difficult things to deal with. Obviously, Polymorph Potion would be a really cool thing to get on this. Any minion that you can possibly summon out that has poison.
Poison.
Yeah, if you've got a taunt that can adapt and poison is an option, you take it. You take it. So, yeah.
Also, the very, very, very cool interaction that we saw earlier today from Trollden with Wild Pyromancer and adapting the Pyromancer into a poison.
That was actually Disguised Toast.
That was Disguised Toast? Alright, my bad.
How is it? You're like half Canadian and you... Oh my...
I confuse the two of them because they both always come up with these trolly stuff.
That's true. They do. Alright, so, yeah, I think this card is definitely going to be pretty damn exciting, and I can't wait to see what people are going to do. Alright, so now let's go to the quest. The Jungle Giants summon 5 minions with 5 or more attack. Reward is Barnabas.
Barnabas
basically is a 5 mana 8/8 that Or I think it's 5 mana. I'm not 100% sure. Let's scroll down and see if they actually put the token in. I don't know if they have.
I don't think so.
Anybody watching the video, you may just get motion sickness real quick. Sorry. All right. It is. Yes, it is. Barnabas the Stomper. 5 mana, 8/8 battle cry. Reduce the cost of minions in your deck to 0. That means everything you're playing is 0 cost. So if you've held on to your drawing mechanic stuff till after this was played, all of a sudden you are just pumping out nothing but power. Once Barnabas hits the board, if you're not a warlock, a paladin, or a warrior, you're going to be in a world of fucking pain.
World of pain.
World of pain.
And then this also synergizes what we were saying before with the Tyrantus.
Oh yeah, exactly. It synergizes very well with it. Alright, so what do you think the likelihood of getting this quest off is? I mean, we've already seen some of the stuff from the streams and what they've released out so far. Do you think it's going to be overly viable to actually get out the Jungle Giants quest in a decent amount of time?
I definitely think it's viable due to the fact, like we were mentioning before, Druid ramps pretty easily, and then there's at least three. There's three new cards. Yeah, exactly. There's like 3 new cards in the set that already have 5 attack. So that's already a bonus into the class for that. So it works well.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so let's move on to the Giant Anaconda. Speaking of things with 5 fucking attack. Yeah, Nicki Minaj, the card.
That's like legit the first thing I hit. I was like, oh man, somebody's listening too much Nicki Minaj when they made this card.
I can't see your ass to make that comparison, man. I'm sorry. You know me, it's all about the ass. All right, so 7 mana, 5/3, Death Rattle, summon a minion from your hand with 5 or more attack. Okay, so if this thing dies, all of a sudden you get Tyrantus in play. That's a scary scenario. You get Yasarj in play. That's a scary fucking scenario. Trading with this to get another big minion out, that's a really scary scenario. I don't care how you try to cut it. That's just... Jesus.
Very scary. Very scary.
Very, very scary. Do you think this card's going to see play?
I would imagine that it sees play. It's questionable due to the fact that people will probably say it's poorly statted because it's 7 mana and it has 5 attack and 3 health. But exactly, it's meant to die. And then it's like you can get Enzot synergy with it. Yeah. There's also, which we haven't talked about yet, a neutral card that whenever you play a Death Rattle minion, it triggers the Death Rattle effect. So I mean, there's synergies all across the board, and it plays into the quest requirements as well. So I definitely think it sees play.
I think maybe it's a one-off.
Yeah, definitely probably on us. I don't think you want to run 2 7 mana 5/3s in your deck, even as much as you might like Nicki Minaj.
Also, I'd like to point out that these are beasts. These are beasts. That's going to become relevant a little bit later on.
I'm trying to see, like, I want to agree, but then I feel like
the
Blizzard tried to force it.
It's the new web spinner, dude. Come on.
No, but like legit, Blizzard tried to force the Beast Druid archetype so heavily with the last expansion, and it didn't take, even with how much they're pushing it. So I'm wondering if it will actually take this time. I'm not sure.
I'm just saying that the whole beast aspect it's another thing that hunters can grab now.
But you do remember at the start when people are like, oh my god, Menagerie, oh my god, the sick combos, Beast, Druid, Sinner, oh my god. And
yeah, that lasted for like 2 days.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know. Alright, so moving on, we've got the Living Mana. 5 mana spell, transform your mana crystals into 2/2 minions, recover mana when they die. Okay, so on the surface, this card just feels horribly bad. Like, if you play this card against a priest, you are asking for that priest to have Mass Dispel. And because priests now have a 1-drop that can kind of get them some new shit, or not the 1-drop, but they have some mechanics designed into it to possibly pull some random priest spells, it is not outside the realm of possibility of them possibly pulling that Mass Dispel. Well, maybe it's just me, but I kind of feel like if you're paying 5 mana to basically fill the board with these little 2/2 minions, to get hard countered by Mass Dispel and instantly destroy every possible bit of ramp that you've developed at that point is way too great a fucking risk to ever consider playing this seriously. It's like, if this card became popular, then Mass Dispel and Priest becomes a one-of, almost guaranteed.
Alright, you see, I would want to agree with you under normal circumstances, but then I remember that there was this thing called Force of Nature that people still played.
Yeah, but that had
Ah,
charge. These don't.
yeah, but even now, Force of Nature is still summon 3/2/2 treants for 5 mana.
Yeah, but you didn't have to sacrifice all your mana and leave it hanging out in the open for somebody to screw with.
This is also potentially true.
Yeah.
That's what makes it very tricky. I feel like possibly this maybe could see some play as part of a like rush down Savage Roar kind of aggro deck,
I
possibly.
could see that, but you'd have to set up some very specific things. Like, you'd have to have living mana in your hand by 5. You'd also have to have the Savage
Mhm.
Roar in your hand, and you'd have to have an Innervate just to pull that off.
True.
So, I mean, that's a little sketchy at best. You know, it's a three card combo spread over 2 turns, which, you know.
Well, that's how it starts, and then some pro optimizes it, and then the next day everyone on ladder is playing the shit.
Yeah, until somebody discovers, hey, look, I can play this one card here called Mass Dispel and totally wreck this plan.
This is also true.
All right. Okay, so the next one we've got is actually no, any AoE fucks that plan. All right. Next card we got is Evolving Spores, 4 mana spell, adapt your minions. Now initially when I read this, like, wow, 4 mana to adapt a minion, it was like, it didn't say a, you dumbass. It said your minions.
Your minions, exactly.
Right. So I look at this card, and the first thing that came to mind was like Egg Druid.
Token Dread.
Oh yeah, tokens all day long. I mean, I don't think I could say anything else much more than that. It's definitely a win more card. Right. So
because you already have the board. So
Yeah.
I mean, typical Hearthstone rules is he who rules the board rules the game. So
Oh yeah. Now, if you've already got the board, and then on turn 4 you play this down, and you get something like Wind Fury, how good does that feel?
disgusting.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much GG. If you've got like 4 minions on the board on turn 4, and you just gave them all Wind Fury, if you haven't won, you're not playing
Because
this game right.
that's turn 1 the Raven, the 2/2 Raven. Turn 2 the card that buffs the Raven. Turn 3 possibly the 3/2 beast that spawns a minion, and then turn 4 this. You're kind of fucked.
Yeah, you really are. You really, really are. Or you could also have the Dread Corsair in your deck, and that way you're still using patches, thus getting 2 for 1.
This is also true.
Right. So I mean, there's definitely possibilities in that. But this
Oh
card,
dear God, Pirate Druid.
Now, I'm not saying this is going to replace Savage Roar in any way, shape, or form. But I'd say that this would complement it. Or you can, in late game play, being able to have a board play Adapt plus Savage Roar. Jesus.
This is true.
It makes like the old Hunter OTK deck look scary weak.
And it's like it's a balanced mana cost because it's
is.
balanced to the point where you can combo it because it only costs 4. It's not at that midway 5 mana mark where it sucks up all the mana. So you still have 6 mana to play around it. So I think it's a fairly stated card.
Yeah. All right. Moving on, we got the Shell Shifter, which is a very interesting card. It's a choose one. It could either be a 5/3 or it could be a 3/5 with Taunt. Now that 5/3 comes with Stealth, which gives it a little bit of power. And because if you put it in Stealth form, being 5/3, I'm pretty sure it actually counts towards Jungle Giants. If it's in that Stealth form. If not, it wouldn't.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's
That's a
something
good
I really
synergy.
want to see. You know.
Not
But,
to mention, definitely gonna be seeing people possibly try to combo the shit out of that card with everybody's favorite
Fandom.
legendary Fandra.
Oh yeah, 4 mana for a 5/5 Taunt. GG.
And stealth, Jesus.
And stealth taunt. It's like, haha, I've got something that'll block you as soon as you can see it.
Yeah.
Oh,
happy day. I always wondered, like, even in the beginning times of Hearthstone, how, like, before I found out, like, about Hearthstone in general, I was like, what happens if you stealth a taunt? Does it, like, still retain the taunt because it was taunted before you stealth it? Does it lose the taunt? Like, what?
Yeah, the moment I got my hands on the emulator and we were loading in the cards, I asked that same question, and then apparently the emulator already had the preset rules for that. And so, oh, hey, that's how that works. Cool. All right, so now we have Earthen Scales, another spell. This is a 1 mana spell, and that's kind of an important thing. Give a friendly minion +1/+1, then add armor equal to its attack. So yeah, Tyrantus, 13 health back right there.
That's technically a 10 mana card though.
Yes, I understand that. You'd have to use Innervate.
And you technically can't target it with a spell.
Oh, that's right. You can't use it on Tyrantus. You're absolutely correct on that. But you can use it on a lot of other things, though.
Mm-hmm. You can definitely play Malygos Druid and play it on a Malygos.
Why would I play it on a Malygos just to get 5 armor back?
Because reasons.
Yeah, but I could play it on the Coon instead. And
Okay,
get
fine.
7.
But wait,
Actually,
Coon,
8,
that's
8.
10 mana.
Yeah, but I can.
I'm thinking about I
can get back my mana crystals. You see what I'm saying?
Well, fair enough.
And if
or
I
you
was
could
playing
play it on Alex Straza.
with Vandrel, oh my god, that's a shit ton of fucking armor. But either way, it's a very interesting mechanic of giving shit tons of fucking armor to a Druid. And we already saw with some of the adapt mechanics that are coming into the game and some buffing mechanics that already exist for Druids, it's not going to be overly unlikely to get a minion above 10. I mean, Jesus Christ, a turn 8 play is Ancient of War in uprooted mode, and then this, and you get 11 armor
11
back.
armor?
That's pretty damn good.
Sorry, Warrior, you're not the only armor guy in town anymore.
I mean, think about this, man. And actually, with innervates and stuff like that, you could get that Ancient War out on, say, turn 5, and it'll be a 10-5 when you play it down. And then on your turn 6, if it's still alive, you're cranking that up to 11, maybe even more, and gaining back that armor. That's a huge amount of buffering that you can do, as well as creating a really impactful minion. I think the card is actually pretty good, and it's going to be a tool that Druid really needs in order to kind of get to its late game of, I have big minions, hear me roar.
This is true.
Yeah. All right, next up we've got the Verdant Longneck. This was one of the first minions that they showed us with the Adapt.
Battlecry Adapt. Oh gosh,
yeah,
I'm so sad that we don't have Branna Arena anymore.
I know. I mean, it's a 5/4, so I mean, there's definitely some really good possibilities here. You can make it an 8/4. You can make it a 5/7. You can give it stealth. You can give it sport. A whole slew of really cool things. I think this card, at first when I saw it, I was like, it's okay. I mean, its value is pretty much par. The Adapt does give it a little bit of a, like, an increase over some other
The Adapt
things.
is definitely what pushes it over the top.
It does. It really does. And I like it. I honestly do like this card. I think this card is fits perfectly, thematically, with what they're trying to basically get Druid to be doing. So, I like it.
I concur.
Okay, so Elder Longneck. 3 mana for a 5/1. The fucking Magma Rager of Druids.
But so much better.
It really, really is. And you only need to be holding a minion in order to get this effect.
Oh yeah, FYI for those who are watching, if you didn't already know, if you need to know if your trigger effect is active in this set, it sparkles and crackles apparently on the card when it's active.
The elementals sparkle. These just highlight golden.
Okay, so the beasts are different from... Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, so I think it's a decent card. I definitely like it. But you get to basically put an Adapt on it. So this is like a 3 mana 5/4. This is a 3 mana with Divine Shield, a 3 mana...
I think the Divine Shield is probably going to be the most selected.
I would have to either that or the health. I mean, a 5/4 for 3 mana, pretty damn good. But remember, it's literally like a 1 in 3 out of 9. So likelihood you're always going to get the options you want, maybe not so much. But it's not a bad choice. It really there are a lot of really good choices for it. Even the Spore is not bad. Right? This dies but leaves out the 2 1/1s. That's not that's decent too. Yeah, I mean, I like the card. I think it's pretty cool. All right, and the last card for the Druid is the Tortollan Forager. 2 mana, 2/2. Battlecry, add a random minion with 5 or more attack to your hand. Look at this. Here's the curve. You play the Tortollan, you play the Elder Longneck. Have a nice day.
GG, well played.
Yeah. Now, it says with 5 or more attack. So don't just think it's only going to have 5 attack. It can have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
A Masmoth.
Yeah, it could have quite a bit there. So I think the card is actually pretty legit. It gives really good early game options for Druid, which pretty much at this point is going to be Wild Growth, Innervate, and Wrath.
Yeah, and it's a good way to curve out so you don't just like stand there with all your mana ramping stuff. You actually can contest the board.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a smidge.
Yeah, and in all honesty, if you can hit that perfect tempoing here, play this on 2, play this on 3, and then you can throw out an Innervate on 4 to play down something that costs 6 mana. Could be good. Could be really good.
Definitely.
Alright, so now we're going down to Hunter, everybody's favorite class. Though Hunter's been kind of shitty in Mean Streets of Gadgetzan.
Every class, for the most part, that has been hand buff has been pretty shitty.
Yeah. Alright, it really has, guys. It really has. It was
the only viable hand buff deck were pretty much in Paladin.
Yeah.
It was either the aggro or Divine Shield Paladin or Dragon Paladin with hand buffs mixed in. Those are pretty much the only viable ones.
Oh god, what was I calling the hand buff Paladin? Oh yeah, buff, give. Alright, so let's get to the cards here. We got the first one, Legendary Swamp King Dread. 7 mana, 9/9. This card literally will always be forever etched in my mind as Baby Murloc Killer 9000. Oh my god, that stream of the Murloc or the Baby Murloc Massacre is
poor things.
Triggering.
What type of animal does that type of thing?
I know, it was horrible. Alright, so after your opponent plays a minion, attack it. Now, on the surface, this seems like a good idea until you realize things like...
Poisonous are
yeah, Emperor Cobra exists. Fucking any minion with Adapt can suddenly get poisonous and totally wreck the shit out of this.
No, that's what you call a value trade.
Oh, yeah. It's horrible, man.
7 mana, 9/9. It's a damn good statted card, definitely.
And I'll tell you right now, it's probably a good thing they took Sylvanas out of play. Haha!
Oh, that would be...
I play Swamp King Dread! Haha! Wow. I play Sylvanas. I took your Swamp King Dread. Go on, play something.
Counter.
Yeah, it would be, because you'd be able to take the Swamp King from your opponent and have it available on your turn. That's horrible.
That's messed up.
I'm glad they took Sylvanas out now. Once you see this card, it makes total fucking sense.
Yeah, definitely. That's always been the thing with Blizzard. Like, you question sometimes their nerfing practices, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But then when you see some of the broken interactions that potentially could have been, you kind of tend to understand.
Okay. Alright, so getting over here to their quest, the Marsh Queen. Play 7 1-cost minions. Gee, is that going to be hard for Hunter?
Not for the typical aggressive hunter that we all know and love.
I'm going to say right now, you could get away with bringing back, dare I say, Leper Gnome.
Haha.
Leper Gnome could come back, ladies and gentlemen. Could come back. So, what do you get once you complete this quest? Yes. Everybody is going to get motion sick. Sorry about that. You get the Queen Carnessa. Another 5 mana, 8/8, big ass fucking dinosaur. Battlecry. Shuffle 15 Raptors into your deck. And the Raptors are these 3/2 for 1 mana. Battlecry, draw a card. This is like Flame Imp without the downside plus a card draw. Which means you could, in theory, just constantly cycle into the next one.
Yep.
Now, you know what's going to happen is there's going to be that one crazy bastard who's going to go, okay, I got this. I'm going to play down Queen Carnessa. Boom, I got all these guys in there. Okay, I drew one into my hand. Oh, look at that. I got Starving Buzzard now. Starving Buzzard is a shit card, but when you can pair it with 1-drop minions, and you can get 2 card draws by using it, it's not a bad play.
This is true.
It actually is right up there with... It's actually cheaper in some ways than Gadgetzan Auctioneer.
It's also cheaper than the old school, hey, look at me.
Oh, yeah.
I have Unleashed the Hounds along with my Starving Buzzard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that required your opponents to have a board in order to get any sort of value. Here, you can do that. So you can actually get some really serious card draw using this. So that's something to consider. Now, like I said, it's going to be relatively easy for hunters to get this quest off. Do you honestly think people are going to play with this quest with Hunter?
I don't see why not. I mean, even like kind of segueing into another card that's in the set, Stampede. Like these cards that you're getting, they're beasts last time I checked. So if you can get this out and then get a Stampede down and then just keep cycling Raptors like that,
Oh, yeah.
that's like value.
Now, imagine that scenario I just talked about beforehand, and then add in Stampede.
Disgusting.
It is disgusting, ladies and gentlemen.
Mid-range Hunter is going to be a thing again.
Oh, yeah. It's nasty, nasty. All right. So, going over to the next one. Dinomancy. 2-mana spell. Your hero power becomes give a beast +2/+2. This was something I know a lot of
This shocked me.
No, it shocked me too, but this was something a lot of us have been talking about since like the beginning of Hearthstone. I remember my friend Jodo, who did a lot of stuff with me in Mana Grind. He was talking about something like this would be really cool since, you know, Priestess got something like this. It'd be really nice to see alternate hero powers become available for different classes. And we started going through like different things we could possibly do for the different classes. And when we came to Hunter, we all pretty much agreed that Steady Shot was cancerous to the fucking game. It pretty much pigeonholed Hunter into one style of play. Well, correction. It pigeonholed Hunter into one style of play after Blizzard nerfed the shit out of it. And that play was pretty much go face. Smork, smork, smork. Have a nice day. But one of the options we came up with was, you know, give Beast a +1/+1, and we kind of felt that was weak, so we decided +2/+2. So we thought that would have been a good idea. Now here's the question I want to ask, and I haven't read whether or not somebody's asked and answered this yet, but if you play 2 Dinomancies, does it go up to a +3/+3 like it does with, say, Shadowform?
Shadowform?
Yeah.
That is an interesting thought, but I'm going to say possibly not. When you play the second Shadowform, doesn't it say turns it to +2? I mean +3 when you put
it says +3.
Yeah. So unless the card, you know how anal Blizzard is when it comes to wording and whatnot on cards to make it simple for everyone to understand.
I don't think it does say that on the card itself, but it would probably make sense. I mean, giving minions a +3/+3 for 2 mana is a little bit too good. I mean, it's very specific to one type of minion, but you're talking about Blessing a King's territory at that point for half the cost.
True.
That's kind of scary. All right. Next up, we've got Stampede, which we just talked about here. 1 mana card. It's the new lock and load mechanic. Instead of having spells, which, let's be honest, Hunter spells weren't overly that good for the whole lock and load mechanic. And you should know, you've watched me play so many different iterations of that bullshit.
Yogg Hunter!
Hunter! That shit was hilarious. I actually made that deck work 5 games in a row, and then I couldn't win with it for like 50.
Dang.
That was how bad that deck was. But when it worked, it was beautiful. When it worked. All right, but here's the new version of it. Being 1 mana, I think, is very easy to fit into a curve. And like I said, after you get the whole Marsh Queen effect in play, I think this is going to be a really powerful fucking card.
Very easy to combo.
Oh, yeah. I do see the possibility of filling up your hand a little too easily because of it. So, yeah, that's going to be just kind of scary. But going back to Dinomancy, I think that card might actually be broken, even with that +2/+2. if you play a pure beast deck, GG.
Time will tell.
All right. Yeah, it will. It will. Okay, so moving on to the next card, we got the Tol'vir Warden, 5 mana, 3/5, non-beast. Non-beast, there are a couple of them in Hunter, two specifically.
Drawing
those 2 1-cost minions. Okay, so this could help accelerate getting your quest done, or after you've got the quest in play, boom, summoning those bad boys to your hand to play out in combination with, say, a Stampede in a later turn. I
definitely feel like this is a combo card, because honestly, I think you'd want to have completed the quest by turn 5, playing out 1-cost minions. I don't think you want to pass your turn 5 not completing the quest already, because you should have completed it by then so that you can start looking to make bigger combo plays with Stampede and whatnot.
Oh yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. All right, moving on. Next card, we've got the Terror Scale Stalker, another non-beast card. 3 mana for a 3/3. Good stat body. All right. It's not exceptional like a 3/4, but it's a good stat body. Battle Cry, trigger a friendly minion's death rattle. Okay, so we've gotten
Feign death.
Oh yes, it's feign death with legs. We've gotten one new minion for Hunter with death rattle, and that is the Raptor Hatchling, which we're going to be talking about next. But other cards we could look at, you've got the Rat Pack, you've got Rat Pack.
You have the one that buffs the thing in the hand for 2.
Yep, you got that. You've got the Infested Wolves. You've got the High Mane. So there's quite a bit of death rattles that exist.
And there's also is there what set was infesting?
That was Whispers of the Old God.
Okay, so there's synergy with that as well too.
Yes,
you can turn whatever minion into a death rattle and then trigger.
Exactly. All right, so personally, I think it's going to be kind of cool. This is kind of like Princess Hunan's effect, just on a smaller body.
Princess Hunan.
Yeah. I like
that. No one played.
No one played it because it was just too awkward to play. It
really it cost too goddamn much.
Exactly. Now a better statted minion, and you can play multiple of them. I think this might actually be something worth looking into. So I like the card. I think it's actually pretty good.
I agree.
Okay, Raptor Hatchling. Here's pretty much your new go-to 1-drop. Like, you want to hard pull every single game for this. 1 mana for 2/1, not exceptionally great stats. Yes, it is a beast card, so there's a lot of cool synergies you can do with that. And it has a death rattle. Shuffle a 4/3 Raptor into your deck, and that 4/3 Raptor costs 1 mana. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to put this out here. That's literally 6/4 stats for 2 mana, spread over multiple turns. That's not bad.
And it's cheap enough that it can be synergized with Terra Scale Stalker.
Very, very true. So,
and it's a beast, so it can also synergize with Crackling Razor Maw.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Okay, so you get a couple of these 4/3s into your deck. Next thing you know, you play the Tol'Vir Warden. Boom, you bring them to your hand, and you're able to play them. And then it activates your Marsh Queen. You got more stuff coming in. So, I mean, it's going to help accelerate that quest dynamic quite a bit. And getting your quest off before your opponent might actually be a game-winning condition in many cases. So, personally, I like it. I like it a lot. Personally, I think the quest for Hunter is better than the quest for Warlocks. Like, Hunter is actually the bona fide zoo at this point.
I can see that.
Yeah. Alright.
I can see that.
Alright, so next up we've got the Crackling Razor Maw. Battlecry, adapt a friendly beast. Just going on curve, the Raptor Hatchling, and then you could put something on it to buff it. That seems kind of cool, man. I mean, even if you give it Wind Fury, that's smacking your opponent's face for 4 on turn 2. That's kind of cool. Or just giving it a +3 on top of it. Boom, hitting them for 5. That's even better. Giving it Spores. So it dies, but it sends out these 2/1/1s, thus technically giving it more value than it came with. So, yeah, there's a lot of good adapts that could go on some of the 1-drops, specifically the Raptor Hatchling. So, I'm actually looking forward to this card. Other things that people might want to consider here is things like Young Dragonhawk, which already come with Wind Fury. If it survives on the board, your opponents weren't able to do anything to it, then next thing you know, you play this down, give it a +3, and all of a sudden you're punching them in the face for 6 damage. Smork life is Smork life.
Smork life forever.
Yeah. So, I like the card. In later game play, it also has a lot of great viability, playing it in combination with, say, Knuckles. Yeah, Knuckles.
The card that everyone forgot.
Yep. Alright, so next thing you know, you give Knuckles, like, Stealth or Divine Shield, and he gets pretty decent. You give him more attack, take him out of, Shadow Word Pain range, and all sorts of fun stuff like that.
Hit him with that Dinomancy.
Oh, yeah, that Dinomancy on him is disgusting. And then all of a sudden, you now have a board trader who can also hit the face as well. Who doesn't love that, man? I think we can see some really cool combinations if we really dive into it. And this card definitely is going to be a part of that.
Indeed.
Right, moving on, we've got a spell here. No secrets for Hunter this expansion.
Yeah, I think they have enough.
Yeah, also no direct damage from Hunter this season. Actually, there's like no direct damage from like any class except for, well, technically Shaman.
Technically.
Alright, so Grievous Bite. Deal 2 damage to a minion and 1 damage to the adjacent ones. This is like mini
Power Shot's younger brother,
or
yeah.
explosive shot. Yeah, it's like mini explosive shot and mini power shot in so many ways. But at 2 mana, I think it's viable. You know? I think it is viable.
I mean, alright, so the thing is, right? Like, even when I saw this for the first time, the first thing that came to my mind was, so why don't I just play Explosive Trap?
Yeah.
Because, I mean...
if this is all it's going to be doing, I can play Explosive Trap and get even more value later on.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I don't think this is going to see much play. I really don't. It's just kind of...
Because I think it just falls into the same pitfall as, like you said, Explosive Shot and Power Shot. Like, nobody played those cards for a reason.
Well, I mean, in constructed play, in Arena, they do see play. And I think that's exactly where you're going to see this is in Arena. In Arena, this card actually has some pretty good fucking value. It counters all those hyper-aggressive decks, except for Mage.
True.
So, I think this is a good card for Arena.
Yeah, I'd definitely say it's more of an Arena card.
Alright, and now to the Jeweled the Jeweled Macaw. The Web Spinner of the set. It's actually kind of better than Web Spinner, because Web Spinner, it could have been silenced, you know. It could be taken over before you got the effect by, say, a priest, especially with Potion of Madness, and then they could have gotten the effect off. But here, now it's a battle cry. Boom, you get that beast. Now, it's a random beast to your hand, which means... hey, all those great Druid ones could possibly come to your hand. So you might actually get the 10 mana 12/12 that can't be targeted.
Are you sure about
that's what everybody
random?
That's what everybody is agreeing on with this card. That
well,
part I did read.
The reason why I'll agree, I just read the card and it says it's a battle card. It's not Discover.
Right.
Discover is limited.
Yeah, it would exclude other classes, but because it's a random, it includes them all. So I think that's a really good point to pay attention to there.